I stared at the ring on my finger, a brilliant diamond mocking me as I watched my fiancée kiss another man. My name is Mark. I'm 32 years old, and just 2 days before our wedding, my entire future exploded. Sarah and I had been together for 7 years, engaged for 1. We'd planned everything, from the rustic barn venue to the tiny personalized wedding favors. Our apartment was filled with boxes, packed for the move to our new house, a fresh start, a perfect life. We were supposed to be getting married this Saturday. Everything was exactly how I'd always dreamed it would be. But everything changed when I got that text from her bridesmaid. We met at a mutual friend's BBQ. She was laughing, her bright red dress catching the sunlight, and I was instantly captivated. I spilled my beer trying to get her attention, and she just laughed harder. From that day on, we were inseparable. She was vivacious, spontaneous, and loved adventure. She remembered little things, like how I took my coffee black and my irrational fear of heights. When I proposed to her on top of the Eiffel Tower, she didn't hesitate. This was my person, my forever. 6 years into our relationship, I knew it was time. I planned the perfect proposal in Paris, a trip we'd always dreamed of. She cried, I cried. We called our families bursting with happiness. The next year was a whirlwind of planning, tastings, and endless discussions about flower arrangements. We even designed our own wedding hashtag, Mark and Sarah Forever. I truly believed it. Happy tears. Or so I thought. I was finishing up a late work project when my phone buzzed. It was Beth, Sarah's maid of honor. Hey, Mark, the text read. Sarah wants to know if you're coming to the pre-bachelorette brunch tomorrow. She's really excited for her big night. I smiled. Of course. I'll be there. Then another text came through from Beth a few minutes later. Oops, wrong chat. That was meant for Ashley. My heart did a tiny flutter. Ashley? Sarah's cousin Ashley was supposed to be hosting the bachelorette party, not Beth. It was a small detail, easily dismissed, but a tiny prickle of unease started to spread. I should have listened to my gut. The next morning, I woke up feeling off. The text from Beth kept replaying in my mind. Ashley had told me the party was going to be at a quiet vineyard an hour out of town. But Beth's message implied something else, something closer, perhaps more lively. I tried to shake it off. Sarah deserved a wild night with her friends, a last hurrah. I spent the morning running errands, picking up a few last-minute items for our honeymoon. But the gnawing feeling persisted. I called Sarah around lunchtime. Her voice was slightly slurred. Hey, babe! Having the best time. We're just heading out for dinner now. Promise to call you later, she chirped. She sounded happy, too happy. I told myself I was being paranoid, but I wasn't ready for what I discovered next. Later that evening, after a lonely dinner, I couldn't shake the feeling. I remembered Sarah mentioning a specific bar downtown, the Emerald Lounge, for just one drink before the main event. It was a place we used to go. On a whim, I got in my car. My palms were sweating as I drove through the familiar city streets. My stomach was churning with a mixture of dread and disbelief. This is ridiculous, I told myself. She's just having fun. Your fiancé loves you. I parked a block away, my heart thumping against my ribs like a trapped bird. As I walked towards the entrance of the Emerald Lounge, the loud thumping of music grew louder. I saw a group of women spill out onto the sidewalk, laughing loudly. And then I saw her, Sarah, dressed in a white mini dress, a bride-to-be sash across her chest, her blonde hair flying as she twirled, caught in a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. But it wasn't her joy that caught my breath. It was the man she was kissing. His arms were wrapped around her waist, pulling her close, and her hands were tangled in his dark hair. They were laughing, eyes closed, lost in their own world. He wasn't a stranger. I recognized him. It was David, her ex-boyfriend from college. My world shattered in that moment. I stood there, frozen, unable to move, unable to breathe. The sounds of the city faded, replaced by a deafening roar in my ears. It felt like an out-of-body experience, watching my own life unravel in slow motion. My chest ached with a pain I'd never known. My beautiful fiancée, the woman I was supposed to marry in 48 hours, was in another man's arms, under the neon glow of a bar sign. She pulled away, giggling, and then leaned in for another kiss. My vision blurred. I turned and stumbled away, not wanting to confront them, not wanting to witness another moment of this horrific betrayal. I got back to my car, my hands shaking so violently I could barely unlock the door. I drove home on autopilot, the world a blurry mess outside my window. The wedding invitations, the honeymoon tickets, the dreams we'd built together, they all flashed before my eyes, turning to ash. I sat in our empty apartment, surrounded by boxes of our future, and felt utterly, completely alone. I had to make the hardest decision of my life. I spent the next day numb. I called our closest friends and family, my voice cracking as I told them the wedding was off. Explaining felt impossible, the words caught in my throat. Sarah called me multiple times, her calls quickly becoming angry texts when I didn't answer. I didn't want to hear her excuses, her apologies. I just wanted the pain to stop. I called the wedding venue, the caterer, the photographer, canceling everything, each call a fresh stab to the heart. Our dream home, now just an empty shell we were supposed to move into, became a symbol of everything lost. I packed a small bag and left the apartment, leaving a note for Sarah. I needed space to breathe, to understand. It's been 3 months since that night. I'm living with my brother, picking up the pieces. The pain hasn't vanished, but the raw, searing agony has dulled to a persistent ache. I still see wedding photos on social media, happy couples celebrating, and a part of me flinches. But I'm learning to focus on myself again, on my career, on rediscovering who I am without us. I'm not whole yet, and I don't know when I will be. What happened next still haunts me. My biggest lesson? Trust your gut. That tiny flicker of unease, that nagging feeling. It's there for a reason. Sometimes the truth is harder to face than the comfortable lie. But lies always come crashing down eventually. It shattered me, but it also forced me to see clearly. You deserve someone who chooses you, every single day, in every single moment. Don't settle for anything less, because your worth isn't found in someone else's broken promises.